Question number 131. In frog, oviduct is modified. So, if you see the frog like there is a oviduct. So, how this oviduct usually which gets modified? So, modified the manner of ducts we call it as Mullerian ducts. Mullerian duct is the name. It is a modified duct of the oviduct that you could see in case of frogs. So, option 3 is the correct answer. 132. The tympanic cavity in frog communicates with the pharynx ventrally through eustachian tube. Eustachian tube because the tympanic cavity is an irregular air-filled space enclosed in the temporal bone. It is lined with a simple ciliated columnar epithelium. It communicates with the pharynx by a passage through eustachian tube, that is auditory tube. So, option 4 is the correct answer. Question 133. V cranial nerve, that is a fifth cranial nerve of frog is trigeminal. So, fifth cranial nerve, question number 133, the fifth cranial nerve, the fifth cranial nerve, it's a trigeminal, trigeminal. So, 133, 3 is the correct answer. Question number 134, yolk plug can be seen during which development stage of the frog? You could see in case of gastrulation. So, 134, yolk plug you could see in case of gastrulation. So, you could see in case of gastrulation. Because gastrulation is a process which converts a single layered blastula into 2 to 3 layered gastrula. The gastrulation involves an arrangement of the cells due to morphogenetic movements of the cells, that is rearrangement forms blastophore through which a white spot of yolky endodermal cells are visible. This is called as yolk plug. Also in gastrulation, a new cavity called archidendron or primitive gut forms. So, 134, 1 is the correct answer. Question 135. In Anura group of frog, caudal vertebra fuse to form urostyle. Because in Anura what happens, the tailless groups of frogs, caudal vertebrae, that is vertebrae of tail, fuse to form urostyle, which in turn like 10th vertebrae of the frog. So, 135, 2 is the correct answer. 136, choose the wrong statement, in which third is the incorrect statement. Gap junctions facilitate the cells to communicate with each other by connecting the nuclei of adjoinal cells. So, option 3 is the correct answer for 136, because the gap junctions facilitate cells to communicate with each other by connecting the nuclei of the adjoining cells. So, question 137, the function of the gap junction 2. It is for facilitating the functions, that is like communication between adjoining cells by connecting the cytoplasm for rapid transfer of ions, small molecules and some large molecules. So, because most cells where you could see in animal tissues where with the cells exception of few terminally differentiated cells such as skeletal muscle cells and the blood cells are in the communication with the adjoining cells, that is via the gap junctions at the place you could see where the gap junctions is present. Membrane of two adjacent cells are separated by the uniform narrow gap about 2 to 4 nanometer. The gap is spanned by the channel forming proteins called connexins, which allows inorganic ions and other small water soluble molecules to pass directly from the cytoplasm to one cell to the cytoplasm of the other cell. So, question 137, 4 is the correct answer. 138, pseudo stratified epithelium, this already we discussed in the first question, first part itself. 135, pseudo stratified, this type of cells which present in the trachea and in the respiratory tract, but bronchioles is a ciliated. Okay. So, 138 we are done. 139, inner surfaces of bronchi, bronchioles and fallopian tube are lined. This already we discussed. 139 question. Ciliated is for the bronchioles. So, for bronchioles, fallopian tube. So, for fallopian tube. So, these are the examples for this one. Okay. 4 is the correct answer. 140, sterocilia occurs in pseudo stratified columnar epithelial of epididymis. In the epididymis, you could see question number 140. In the epididymis, you could see the structure fits the epididymis, where in the epididymis, you could see the pseudo stratified columnar, you could see the pseudo stratified the columnar epithelial cells. The columnar, this is the pseudo-stratified columnar epithelial cell. Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelial cells that you could see in this case, in case of epididymis, because epididymis is the storehouse of sperms. Epididymis is the storehouse of sperms. So in which you could see the columnar epithelial, that is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelial cells. So option 4 is the correct answer. Question 141. The cell junctions called tight, adhering and the gap junctions are found in epithelial tissue. Option 2 is the correct answer. 142. Name of the tissue that forms a gland. Epithelial. So 1 is the correct answer. 143. Osteoid refers to, osteoid, first question 143, osteoid. It refers to the 144, you take the correct answer, right? Sorry, 143, osteoid is young hyaline matrix of true bone in which calcium salts are deposited. So, osteoid is a soft materials containing mainly of a collagen that is secreted by osteoblast and constitutes the uncalcified matrix of bone. Osteoid is converted to hard bone matrix when it combines with the calcium phosphate which forms hydroxyapatite and deposited from the blood. So, option 2 is the correct answer. 144. What type of cartilaginous tissues is found in the intervertebral disc? So, usually it is of white fibrous cartilage. This is actually in the white fibrous cartilage, you could see in between the center of the adjacent vertebrae, there are elastic pads of fibrocartilage called the intervertebral disc, which provides mobility to the vertebrae. So, that check undue frictions and you take up of shocks and everything. So, 144. So, 3 is the correct answer. Question 145. The matrix of bone and cartilage can be distinguished by the presence of Arvesian canal. So, question number 145, you could see Arvesian canal. So, this Arvesian canal is the prominent feature that you could see in the presence in the cartilage, bone and the cartilage. Question 146. Mummies of Egypt still have their arteries preserved due to the presence of this because of yellow elastic connective tissue fibers, that you could see. So, this is because of the why the mummies have been preserved for the long span of time. So, for question number 146, 1 is the correct answer. Question number 147. Find the wrongly matched pair. Cartilage with the areolar tissue is the incorrect, because cartilage is a soft skeletal tissue, right, which forms the endoskeleton of the vertebrates. So, option 4 is the correct answer for 147. Come to 148. Bone is mainly composed of, what is the bone mainly composed of? Calcium and phosphorus. Where the bone is mainly composed of. So, 3 is the correct answer. Question 149. Tendons and ligaments are kind of, you would see it's a connective tissue. It's a kind of connective tissue. So, option 2 is the correct answer for 149. Because tendons and ligaments are the dense connective tissues. Tendons connect the skeletal muscles with the bone and ligaments joins bone to bone. Okay. So, where you could see like this, because tendons connect skeletal muscles to the, because you could see because if this is a bone and this is your skeletal muscle, and this is your bone. Okay. In between the connectivity, this you could see, right, this we call it as a tendon, and this is your skeletal muscle. Okay. So, in between the skeletal muscles and the bone, we have a tendon which acts like a bridge. So, the ligaments join to bone. For example, this is a one bone and we have the other bone over here. So, this is the other bone. Okay. In this place, you could see this is a ligament. Okay. So, this is another bone. So, bone to bone is a ligament, bone to muscle is a tendon. So, this way you need to differentiate, like, the tendon and the ligament. These two forms that often you should not get confused. So, we are done with this part. Question number 150. The outer covering of cartilage is called perichondrium. So, option 4 is the Correct answer, because perichondrium is a dense layer of fibrous connective tissue that covers the surface of cartilage. Question 151. Which cartilage is present at the joints of the long bones? Hyaline is the cartilage. Okay, so question 152. Intercalated disc or characteristic muscles are found in heart. So cardiac muscle fibers are found in the walls of the heart. They have intercalated disc at intervals. These are specialized regions of cell membranes of two adjacent fibers. So they permit the wave of muscle contraction to the transmitted from one cardiac fiber to the another. So 152, 1 is the correct answer. 153, blood brain barrier is formed by astrocytes. Astrocytes are the large sized star shaped cells which forms an interconnected network around the neuron. Astrocytes basal lamina around blood vessels are constitute blood brain barrier. 153, 2 is the correct answer. 154, the area where the medullary sheath is absent in the nerve fiber is the node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier is the correct answer for question. If you see the structure of neuron, you can see this part, node of Ranvier. Question 155, vertebrate's brain differentiates from ectoderm. Ectoderm, that is like ectoderm is external layer of cells of the gastrula. It forms the central nervous system, the lens of the eye, the cranial and the sensory, the ganglia, nerves and pigment cells and head connective tissues, the epidermis, hair and the mammary glands. So 155.3 is the correct answer. 156, the first body segmented of earth, the first body is peristomium. So question number 156, the first segment is the peristomium of earthworm. Then comes the other segments. So segment 1, 2, 3, 4. So metameric. These are like stomites we call it as. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which keeps going on like this in case of earthworm. So in case of earthworm. So this is the first segment, onto which you could see the mouth like arrangement. This is called as prostomium. This is called as prostomium. Prostomium is the mouth like structure that you could see. So this is already we discussed. But the first segment is the peristomium in case of earthworm. So we done with this part. 156. 157, the earthworm's efficiency of absorption is due to the typhlosol. We all discussed the typhlosol is the intestinal fold, you can see. So 2 is the correct answer. 158, in a live earthworm pricked with a needle on its outer surface without damaging its gut, the fluid that comes out is the, what is the name of the fluid? It's a coelomic fluid which comes out. So 159, the nerve cord in the earthworm originates from subpharyngeal ganglia and a fused pair of ganglia in each segment from the fifth to the last. So option 159 is the correct. 159, 3 is the correct answer. 160, earthworms are hermaphrodite and reproduce primarily by cross fertilization. So where even though where the both and male and female present in the same body, but what happened during rainy seasons, you see like earthworms which comes outside where the male part of the earthworm which releases sperm, the sperms which will be migrated to the water. Here water which acts as a medium, this will be approaching the other earthworm, and the way they taken by the female part, and this by this a cross fertilization can be accomplished. So it is hermaphrodite, but it's not take for granted it's a self fertilization, but usually it takes a cross fertilization. So option 2 is the correct answer. 161, clitellum segments of earthworm constitutes segments 14 to 16. So I told you already, like you should be very careful with the segments, right? Clitellum 14 to 16 segments. 162, spermathecae in Ferretima is located in 6 to 9. So 6 to 9 in case of spermathecae. So often you get a question, right, from this part only. So the segments. So option 2 is the correct answer. Sorry, 4 is the correct answer. Then question number 163. Earthworms have no skeleton, but during the burrowing, the anterior becoming turgid and acts as the hydraulic skeleton. It is due to coelomic fluid. That is 163. 3 is the correct answer. Question number 164. Which of the following is a hermaphrodite? Earthworm is a hermaphrodite. So earthworm is a hermaphrodite, where both male and female present in the same body, hermaphrodite. So for this question, so question 164. 165. In male cockroaches, sperms are stored in which part of the reproductive system? seminal vesicles, 165 seminal vesicles, which are numerous small sacs present on the ventral surface of anterior part of ejaculatory duct which stores sperms. So, 1 is the correct answer. 166, assertion and reason. The nymph of a cockroach undergoes molting several times. There is a gradual metamorphosis in cockroach. Both the assertion and the reason are true, but the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. So, we go with option 1. Question number 167. Ovarioles. Ovarioles are the structural unit of the female cockroach. That is, first is the correct answer. Question number 168. In cockroach, the arthrodial membrane which joins the sclerites. We have the sclerites, right? The sclerites are joined by the arthrodial membrane. 168. Option 3 is the correct answer. Question number 169. So, we want the next question, that is 169. Which of the following parts of cockroach leg is attached to the thorax ventrally? It is coxa. So, question number 169. You could see the coxa. Coxa is the part, coxa. Then comes your trochanter, then the femur, then we have the tibia, and then we have a tarsus. We have tarsus, and then we have a claws. So, this is the coxal region. Coxa, this is trochanter, and this is your femur part, and here we have a tibia, and this one is a tarsus. On the whole, we have the minute hair like which is present on the surface, and this attached with what? This is with the thorax region. So, which part is get attached over here? The coxa region. The coxa is attached with the thorax. So, question 169, 4 is the correct answer. So, 170. In cockroach, digestive juice is secreted by. So, how the digestive juice is secreted? It's secreted by hepatic ceca. So, it's by means of hepatic ceca. So, option 1 is the correct answer. Question number 171. Compound eyes are found in. So, compound eyes, so you could see mostly in the insects that you could see, cockroach, housefly. So, option 3 is the correct answer, where 171 you could see the compound eye. So, if you see the head part of the insects, right. So, if you could see the compound eyes are present. So, this compound eye is a characteristic feature that you could see in the insects. You could see ocelli. This is ocelli, and this is your compound eye. So, it is not the simple eyes, you could see the compound eyes, and this compound eyes which has got the divisions over here. This is divisions, the small divisions, and these divisions we call it as omatidia or omatidium we call it as. Okay. So, this you could see in case of cockroach, or you could take in case of housefly. So, you could see in case of cockroach, you take in case of housefly, but mosaic vision. 172. The head of cockroach lacks trochanter. So, it lacks trochanter. 170. True. Because trochanter is a part of a large sessile compound hides in front of the black kidney shaped organs of lateral sides of the head. Each consists of about 2000 visual elements of units called omatidia. So, 173. The petriotrophic membrane in the cockroach arises from the gizzard part. Before the part itself we discussed the gizzard. Okay. So, option 4 is the correct answer, because a thin transparent chitinous peritrophic membrane lines the midgut internally in the form of a tube. This membrane is secreted by the stomatical valve of gizzard. It protects the delicate lining of the midgut from abrasion by the hard indigestible components of the food. So, question 173, 4 is the correct answer. 175, read the statement A and B, identify the correct choice. A, the egg of frog is moderately telothecial. B, sooner or later the cleavage patterns become irregular. So, statement A is the reason for the statement B. So, option 4 is the correct answer. Question 176, uterus act as urinogenital ducts in male frogs. Option 4 is the correct answer for 176, because in male frogs, two uterus act as a urinogenital duct which opens into the cloaca. They run backwards from the kidneys and opens into the cloaca. The female uterus carry urine also, while in male both sperms and urine are carried, hence are called urinogen, because the sperms as well as urine are together with the same passage in case of male. So, that is the reason we call it as urine and genital, both it performs the same function. So, that is the reason. So, you go with option 176 4. 177. Cloacal aperture of frog is used to pass out sperm, feces, urine. So 177, all of these is the correct answer. Okay. So this is through the cloacal aperture. 178. What is the number of the spinal nerves in the frog? In case of the spinal nerves, you could see 10 spinal nerves. Question number 178. 178. There are 10 spinal nerves. 10 spinal nerves that you could see in case of frog. In case of frog that you can see. Frog has 10 pairs of spinal nerves, often reduced to only 9 pairs also. Question number 179. The anterior abdominal vein in frog is formed by the union of pelvic veins. By the union of the pelvic veins. So option 4 is the correct answer. The last question. Kidney of frog is, so it is mesonephric. It is a mesonephric. Kidneys of frogs are mesonephric. Why? They are elongated, flat and reddish brown structure. The ventral surface of each kidney has an elongated, narrow, yellow, adrenal and supraadrenal gland, which is an important endocrine gland. To the anterior end of each kidney is attached several small finger like fat bodies in a testis, and it is a male, and ovary in case of a female. So for this question, kidney of a frog is a mesonephric. So by this we come to the end of this part, that is animal tissues and morphology of animals. So we're done with the session already. Guys told you, like, if any questions, if you have any doubts in this part, right, for that only we are having this paper discussions, a question and an answer discussion part. Even in spite of that, if any questions have not been clarified properly, or like, if need extra information on this particular question or clarification that is required, please don't hesitate to contact us, and just post your comments in your comments box. I'll be happy in assisting you, and your comments will be resolved as early as possible. So thank you for understanding. Thank you for your time and patience. Have a great day. Thank you.